Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cfac. Okay, I'm enough of that shit. That's fucking ridiculous. Testing out the audio here. I'm not sure if there's any audio improvements from the last time. I got a little bit better of a setup. Anyways, I'm Spartan6 Shifty, and we are on the road in Ohio. It is, God knows what, 1:12 p.m. 10/26/17. I am driving through Toledo, Ohio right now, going to Pennsylvania. And I wanted to talk, my main focus point for tonight would mostly be Fulda Gap, of course, Fulda Gap. Woo! Not really an after-action report on that, but more of the issues that we saw this year. I want to put this in a separate video. The after-action report would be, gameplay only, but let's see that I got a better connection now. Okay. Don't know if you got that, but I'll just start off with my first subject here. Would be Fulda Gap and the problems that we had this year and the fixes. Which I'm not gonna lie to you, there's not that many fixes. So I'll get started when I get out of this zone here. Very bad connection. Yep, we are on the move, and that's the trouble for it. Alright, let's give this another shot and see if we don't have any more interruptions. Well, Fulda Gap. Let's start off. The biggest issue that I saw this year, personally, I'm pretty sure my team and many others can vouch for, but personally, well, nothing has really changed when it came to Warsaw and versus NATO. I was expecting what I heard down the year of information. What I heard from the year of information coming in from big game supporters and refs and etc. Like, for instance, they were going to have airsoft chronos. That did not happen. We were still chronoing on the paintball chronos, so no changes there. They did a lot of field work. They, they reinforced NATO bunkers, which is not what airsoft Fulda Gap needed. What I saw, or what I heard, is that there was a new game producer, which, if there wasn't, I wouldn't have expected any changes, but we got, Warsaw got the worst of the changes, I would say. There was very few bunkers on the Warsaw starting point side, or the Warsaw side of the DMZ, that were really changed. There a little bit on Gotha, but besides that, I saw maybe one or two bunkers down the DMZ that didn't do anything for us on our end. A lot of changes to the NATO side of the DMZ, which that really helped them. I gotta say, that really helped them, and even more of an advantage this year, because they were able to dig in pretty damn tight. And we're pretty upset, and so is I'm pretty sure all of Warsaw is upset about that. What do they have to complain about? They don't really have anything to complain about. So you got one side complaining and the other side not, and one side's on a losing streak for 4 years now. So I mean, something needs to be changed, because what's going on is me and my team and a lot of Warsaw players are going to switch to NATO, and there's only going to be so many Warsaw players next year. So unless we have an absolute change for Warsaw and the gameplay for Warsaw, there's really, it's going to be a shit show next year. So there's a lot of problems they got to fix if they want a good turnout next year, because I'm guaranteeing next year is going to be lopsided all on NATO. Very minimum Warsaw play, 700 players next year, I guarantee it. I'm pretty sure NATO was bored this year. I'm pretty sure they were bored. But, you know, another thing, so the entire gameplay of Fulda Gap is, well, Warsaw attacks NATO pack. Warsaw pack attacks NATO pack. You need to have a... to dominantly win, I would say, to absolutely dominate the defending team, you would need a 3-to-1 ratio. A 3-to-1 ratio to completely dominate NATO forces. Now, it is not like that in 4 years, and they refuse to, so for that matter, I could vouch for all the years that Warsaw has won, which I believe has been only 2 years that Warsaw has won for Airsoft. Now, I don't know exactly what goes on with the paintball side of things or anything. I've heard that it's pretty equal. If not, Warsaw Pact actually dominates NATO, is what I've heard, for a number of years at least. But this is entirely different. Compared to paintball, it's an entirely different field of play. You know, and you can sit there with a high cap, 400 round, 350, 400 round high cap, and literally and just lay down fire all day. And paintball, you can't really do that. Now, I understand there's a lot more paintball players that show up for Fulda Gap, but it doesn't change the fact that you can sling a lot more plastic than you can sling a lot more paintballs. That being said, Airsoft is a one-hit, you're dead game. Compared to paintball, you need to be paint checked. So, it's an entirely different field of play. So I don't even compare it to paintball in the scenarios or the ratio that is needed to win for Warsaw side. Airsoft wise, to have an even playing field, like the times that we, like, let's say 2011, the first Fulda Gap, it was a 1.5 to 1 player ratio. A lot of the NATO players switched over to Warsaw. The tank ratio was 2 to 1. The AT ratio was about even. But given that, we barely came in for a win. We were 100, 250 points away from winning, I believe. The year after, we had even more players on Warsaw side. And we totally dominated NATO, just like they do to us every year now. NATO players have the, I believe, 2013, NATO has outnumbered Warsaw every year since, or every year to NATO, the 2 to 1. It has not changed yet. It even states in the field rules that armor will be a 2 to 1 ratio, Warsaw NATO players, they say it's ridiculous, and they're actually quite bored of it. They're bored. NATO players were bored because we can't do shit. We can't do shit anymore. The whole entire Warsaw Pact has lost its morale. So I see a huge leap over to NATO next year, and I'm pretty sure after next year a lot of new field rules will be implemented. But like I said, I'm not expecting a change. I've waited for changes for 3 years now, and there's no changes. No changes in favor of Warsaw, which is what is needed. So Fulda Gap, we at Cfac, we just focused on ourselves. We focused on battles that we could win, battles that we could fight, and that's all we did. Yeah, and that's all we could do. You know, the command was shit. The player morale was shit. The field was nicely built and prepped, but at a huge disadvantage to Warsaw Pact. So that's a fucking thing. So next year we're definitely going NATO unless they implement some dramatic field changes. Also, on that note, Fulda Gap, the Command Decisions Wargame Center just got hit by a tornado. As what I've seen in the pictures in the news from one of our teammates, and about 100 players are going to go over there and help fix up the field this weekend. I feel pretty bad about that. It really sucks. The tornado pretty much wiped out Alpha, Rex, and Gotha. It touched down right behind Gotha and just went straight through all the way to Hamburger Hill. And just from the pictures of what I've seen, just completely decimated all of the buildings. So, and paintball Fulda's next month, so they got a lot of damage to repair. There's people that are coming out this weekend to help fix up and probably build a bunch of new bunkers this weekend. And to shout out to anyone that I could convince to go out there this weekend to go help out. You know, bring some tools, bring some plywood, bring some 2x4s and whatever you can. Bring some help. I'm pretty sure most of you, for me, see if you can help. If you got a free weekend, you're in the Hickory Taylorsville area or willing to travel to, this weekend there 100 plus players are going over there to help out and rebuild the field from the damage. It's pretty bad. I mean, Gotha is just level. There's all the bunkers are everywhere. The 2-story setup there is completely gone. So, mad props to everyone that shows out there and helps out. I wish I could. As you can see, I'm on the road. There's no real, unless a dead emergency going out there. All I can say is I wish I could help, and I'm sure the rest of my team wish they to and take time out of their busy schedule to help out. Oh my god. One other thing that another thing I do want to talk about here is Vulcan V12 engines, or Vulcan itself. Saturday at Fulda Gap, day one Fulda Gap, my gun broke down and I raged out said, fuck AEGs, I'm gonna try HPA. So I went around the vendors, had a good look around, and Vulcan V12 was the biggest thing to stand out in my eyes. And they had, hands down, at least compared to Wolverine S&P, hands down the best customer service out there. And I spent 15-20 minutes at each booth, and Vulcan V12 won my heart over. So the Vulcan 10 won my heart over. So I grabbed a Vulcan V12, and like I just bought a Ferrari. The customer support was phenomenal. Matt, I believe his name was Matt. Shit, I forgot his name. The tech there at Vulcan, he helped me out a lot. I could not get my system down perfectly because I need Crytek's are really iffy with the Vulcan V12 gearboxes. So I have a lot of work to do with the HPA setup that I bought from Vulcan, which what I bought was a Vulcan V12. It was like $240. HPA tank, line, regulator. Shit, what else did I get there? Can't remember what else I got. Anyways, they got me set up there, and I was having some problems, and getting used to everything. I believe if I get the right setup, the right tune-in for the HPA system or the Vulcan V12 engine, I believe it will work out pretty good. Like 2 or 3 BBs would come out at once, full auto, and it's just I gotta tune it down. That's really what it comes down to. Everything else, the V12 engine works. It's a bang-on job what they do with the V12. It's just I gotta time it right with my barrel and my mags and my hop-up system, and then everything will be okay. The only other thing I have to mention that is I have to shim the gearbox just a little bit to have that perfect connection with the hop-up assembly. That's the only other thing I gotta really tune up. But mad props to Vulcan for helping me out. They even hooked me up with oh my god, I can't remember the valve. They threw in like a $30 part. So, in the middle of, working out the gearbox and everything, and that was pretty fucking awesome. They just slammed a $30 part in. This $30 slam in. Fuck yeah. I had a blast with Vulcan, so I had some kills, but mainly I was going semi-auto with it for day one, and my hop-up was not really working half the time. Not even half the time, about a quarter of the time my hop-up would just randomly start working. And I tried different buckings and different nubs and everything. It just wasn't happening. Anyways. Whew. The videos. Yes, the videos, I know. I have been working non-stop on one video, and I'm just on the draft of the video. We have about, I would say, altogether about 300 gigabytes of footage, and that's mainly because a third-person perspective was shot with 4K. So our video is going to be rendered at 1080p, but it was shot at 4K. We downscaled it 1080p, which actually is better than 1080p, comparatively better than 1080p. Ugh. Let me get around this guy. Now continue my shit talk. Really hope the audio is a lot better than last time. I have a little bit better of a setup than I did last time when I did this. Anyways, yeah, we have... as you can tell, I don't know if I have to be Captain Obvious here, but I am a truck driver. Being a truck driver, I work on average 8 to 14 hours a day. Mostly, you know, probably about 12 hours a day. And on my off time, I've probably been putting in about, on average, 3 hours a day on working on the video, which is going to be called. And I am literally, I'm almost done with the draft of the video. And I'm at the 42-minute mark, which it's probably not going to be longer than 45 minutes. The end of the video is going to be the most challenging part to get out of, because that's when our footage was mostly spotty. But to what we have right now, as I have down in a draft, it is looking really good. Now, this isn't all gameplay video. Yeah, this isn't all gameplay video. This is the Fulda Gap experience. So, it includes everything gameplay that we did, but it also and stuff like that. And I would say it's about at least I would say at least 75% to 8. I'd say 80% of the footage is all game. But I just got a draft down, and then after the draft, I do final editing, and I'm pretty sure it's going to look to be about 45 to 48 minutes long in total. So it's going to be a long video. It's the biggest video project that we have ever done. And like even bigger than the airsoft thing, way bigger. I mean, we dumped a lot of resources into getting all the perspectives and everything down to this video. So, and it looks fucking amazing. It looks nice, even at what I have it as a draft. And then, of course, I always love to do music videos. That will be coming out in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, I will be shooting out a pretty much minimal edited video of just some the attack at Hamburger, or the defense of Hamburger Hill, or the attack on Rex, or you know, shit like that. So that's I'm gonna release one before the Cfac experience, or I might be able to do two. The thing about that is it takes away from my editing time for the Cfac experience. So for sure, one is going to be put out before the Cfac experience, and then one after. And that one, at least one, is going to be out there by this weekend. So let's say before November 1st, and then definitely one after the Cfac experience, and then the music video after the Cfac experience, and then Ranger indoctrination program, and then Southfield footage that we kind of stockpiled before Fulda Gap. We wanted to release it after Fulda Gap. So there's that. And there's more. There's other videos. There are interviews that we will be releasing. And what else was there? There was something else. I'm pretty sure there'll be some behind the scenes Fulda Gap. And of course, you know, we're probably dipping in the beginning of December here. I'm pretty sure we're gonna try to play a game in December, just, you know, nonchalant game or whatever, a pickup game. We'll see down the road. But right now we're figuring it out. Our next op that we're gonna be doing another big op. We're looking in from February, March, maybe April area. Maybe late January. We'll have to see how Christmas goes when everyone's funding and everything. So, and we're looking at, you know, an actual milsim game, not fucking Fulda Gap, not Conquest, you know, actual milsim, Line Claws, American milsim event somewhere on the East Coast here within, I don't know, at least a 7-8 hour drive. The only thing that comes to mind right now is Operation Freelander, which is literally in a couple of weeks, so we're definitely not going to be able to make that. Shit, I think this weekend is Balahag's 10-year anniversary. That really sucks. I've never been to Balahag. But I would love to have been able to show up to the 10-year anniversary. That would have been cool. Which that's this weekend, I believe. Or was last week? No, it's this weekend coming up. So that's a shame. Yeah, after Fulda, I'm literally like $1,500 in the hole right now. I gotta rebuild that up before I could spend any more money on airsoft. So, fucking Fulda Gap. Another video, I always do a year promo. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it now because, you know, it used to be just the Spartan 6, you know, 2015 promo or whatever. Now I'm going to have to do either a Rangers or a Spartan 6 standalone promo or together. I got to figure that out. Alright, so news with Cfac. Right now, in the meantime that we're low on funds, we're trying to gather probies, and I believe we only have one right now. We had 2 other people that were interested. I have to get contact with them, but until they meet and greet, we can't really say anything about any of those people. But yeah, we're gonna start training, I believe, starting maybe February. I'm not really sure. I just know we're pretty much staying low the rest of the year with the holidays coming up and everything. So we're probably going to start, I want to say, I would love to start training at least January. So by the time January hits, we can have a good number for the training events. because we would love to at least train for at least 4 to 6 players at a time. We're gonna have 2 full-time instructors and 1 part-time instructor for training. There's not really a given set time on the probation period. It's just the time in between training that is. I'll be out of the truck by then, so that would be my top priority up. And then pretty sure after the next training completion, then we can Spartan 6 can start training new recruits. Because the way it works now is we take from the Rangers, so we know they're trained. So Spartan 6 people get interested into the Rangers. I'm sorry, fuck. People that Rangers that have passed their training, after a certain amount of time, they could jump into Spartan 6 and all the days of training, 1 or 2 weekends, and they can be a Spartan. Spartan 6 is a more top tier than the Rangers. Rangers are more basic infantry, and the Spartans are on the line to special forces. So there's got to be more standards and more training to become a Spartan. So if you want to be a Spartan, you have to be a Ranger first. What the hell's going on here? Action, get back here. It's pretty bad right now. I think the only other video that we have, besides what I already announced and talked about in here, is after action report for day 2 at Fulda Gap, which I'm sure me and Bubba will be doing, because Welch was not part of day 2, so we're gonna see about that. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do that at the apartment, and we're probably gonna do a live stream for that too. If the connection is good, we'll do a live stream. If not, fuck it, you know. Which, by the way, we had the best in the fucking world for a live stream. Game live stream in the day 1 AAR live stream. Holy shit, I did not expect that many people to watch. I expected like maybe 15 people at most. We ended up, the pregame, we ended up having like 30 people live watching. And then at the day 1 AAR live stream, we had over 70 people watching live. That's amazing. Like, we only top out at like 3 to 4 per live stream, so that's that's a hell of a fucking increase. So that was pretty feel good. We did not, as you guys could tell, we were not able to do the Facebook live stream, which pretty sure day 2 AAR will be able to do that live stream, because we're using our best connected phone for the mobile hotspot on the laptop to on YouTube. So we couldn't really do Facebook live stream, so it kind of sucked. So sorry for the misinformation. We tried, we did, and it just was not working out. But the live streams on YouTube were a success, and we thank everyone for watching, and all the likes that we got, and all the good feedback we got for the live stream. It was a pretty good live stream. We had a random special guest come in, Harley, and talk to her and everyone else. The only other Fulda thing I got to really announce is I actually got to meet Thumpy. That was pretty cool. Finally got to meet Thumpy for the first time, he's just like on his news. He's a hell of a guy. I liked him, and we talked for probably about 10-15 minutes, all of us. Shook hands, and it was just really nice to finally meet him, because we've been like trading likes on Instagram for like the past month now. So it was really nice just to meet him. So he's a really cool guy. If you ever get the chance to meet Thumpy, do it. He's a really cool guy. Well, besides that, I think that's pretty much wrapping this up. Didn't want to do this for too long, because I know how it is moving, going 65 miles an hour down the freeway. Part 6 Shifty. Until next time, peace out.